Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the desert. You know, guys, not a good way to promote my channel by welcoming you to the desert when most of my viewers are in countries where you have heat waves. But hey, my tomb is pretty chilly, guys, and we have cold drinks, so don't mind the weather, you know, and come and chill inside. But now, guys, we'll get started with our women. Amper, please quit playing with the ball and prepare yourself for some good ration of cringe, as we're gonna start with this woman that is gonna rate her dates. All right, and instead of a rated story, guys, today we'll be dissecting a song that I think will make up for a great discussion. So with that being said, guys, let's get started.
He was an Aries. He was an entrepreneur from another country living in Sweden. And
okay, sorry, I have to pause it already. Aries are a lower tier humans. All right, Aries. I'm sorry if you're an Aries. I don't even know what that month corresponds to. But Aries, you know, it's just the way God intended it to be. They suck. They're all bad. They're all red flags. If you're an Aries, I don't want no Aries in my subscriber count. All right, it's just bad people overall. I'm sorry if you're an Aries, guys. It's just the hand that you've been dealt. I think that Aries, honestly, just not good human beings.
oh my god, he catfished me so bad. Like, he was super handsome in his pictures, like gorgeous, and in real life he looked like a fucking elk. And I'm sorry, and he also had glasses on the whole time, like sunglasses, and it even started raining. Sir, if I can't see your eyes, I can't see your soul, and I will not fall in love with you. Anyway, he picked me up.
Yeah, guys, if I can see your soul, I'm not gonna fall in love with you. But that is why I'm here on this date right now, only because I liked your profile pictures. All right, only because you looked more attractive than the other guys is why I'm on this date. But please quit the sunglasses, because otherwise I cannot fall in love. Absolutely makes sense.
Me up in like one of these like super fast cars and was trying to, I don't know, be cool or something, and I just felt like, oh my god, take it easy. I'm an old woman, okay? I'm 36. Give me a fucking break. We also went for a little forest walk, and he got so out of breath. Like, it was so unsexy. And it started to rain and the glasses were still on. Maybe he had prescription, I don't know, but like...
Chat, is it a red flag to get tired when you're on a mountain hike? It was so unsexy. Ew. You know, it gave her the ick, guys. Why do you get tired? You know, like I never get tired. And yes, I'm immortal and 4,000 years old, but guys, do you get tired? Come on now. Really unmanly behavior.
Like, my dude, just don't have sunglasses on. But something was also a little bit... Anyway, it was a no. We never texted after that. And after a while, I just deleted him from Hinge. So, yeah, Scorpio man, still better. This was seriously like a 3. No, it was a fucking 2 out of 10 date.
Yeah, Scorpio, don't even get me started with Scorpio, all right? No, but sarcasm aside, why does everybody, the zodiac sign people, why do they all hate Scorpio? Like, I keep hearing bad things about Scorpio. Have Scorpio people done one good thing in their lives? Why are they hated by the zodiac community? But otherwise, guys, not important. She rates this date a 2 out of 10. And let me tell you, yeah, wearing sunglasses when it rains, cringe. But otherwise, this man was probably very attractive, you know, according to his photos. And he also owned a fast car that must have been a really expensive, nice-looking car. Unimpressive towards this gem of an individual. It was not impressive, guys. Come on, you gotta do better, you know. If you ask the guy, all right, because according to her, he was a 2 out of 10. If you ask the guy, he'll probably tell you that she was extremely boring to be around, didn't keep the conversation, didn't look that great either, didn't do this, didn't do that. And he'll probably rate her as a 5 out of 10 on the best day of her life, right? But it's these women's standards, guys, that nowadays, even if you own a really fast car and all of that, the things that they think about is, he got out of breath, so unimpressive, you know? Like, these women, anything that is not an alpha, giga, mega chad, you know, that never gets tired, is never afraid, owns a fast car and does this and that. Like, it can't only be the fast car, right? You have to add it up to like another 15 aspects in which you are top 5% of men. Otherwise, not impressive, you know. And this is coming from a 36-year-old woman with the classic sleeve tattoos, you know, the classic "I've eaten 400 bananas in my youth." This is the classic. This is a woman that is one of a million. There are millions just like her, and most probably better looking, all right? But she is entitled to the top 5, 3, or even 1% of men, as we have learned. Enough about her, guys. Let's move on to this other one that also has a really unimpressed face. She's not impressed with what guys have to offer, so guys, do better, please. But now let's see what she has to say.
So I'm here talking about toxic relationships, dating, and red flags, and I would like to talk about the nice guy. So I have been in the talking stages of dating, and I have had several guys tell me that they were a nice guy or they are a gentleman, and they will just offer this information up out of nowhere. Both of these guys actually also said how honest they were. They offered this.
Yeah, the reason why they do that and they bring it up is because supposedly you women care about that. You're all the freaking time complaining, where are all the good men? Where is Mr. Right? Where is Prince Charming? I want a nice guy. You're weeping about it all day. So this is why these men tell you. Yet they fail to realize you don't really care about nice guys, and that's what your actions show.
This information up again out of nowhere. And jumping straight to the punchline, both these guys ended up being completely dishonest, manipulative, and some of the biggest assholes I've ever met. Good people, honest people, do not have to tell you that they are good or honest. It will show through their behavior.
Guys, I absolutely agree with that statement, but it also applies to you, madam, and that's the part that you don't like. That we men see you dating in your 40s, we see your dating history, and you don't need to tell us how good you are, how much a gem of a person you are, how you are God's gift to the earth. Because we see through your actions that multiple men have dismissed you and have run away from you. Alright? And that speaks louder than your words. So to all these ladies that keep asking, oh, but I'm perfect, I don't know why I'm single. Well, we men see why you are single, alright? Through your actions. We see that you're really not that great. And just like with everything else in life, guys, when you see a house or a car that has been dismissed by the previous 25 owners and they have run away from it, you think to yourself, well, there's probably something wrong with that car or device or house, right? It's the same with these women, guys. Nobody wants to stick with them. They've been in 408 relationships, situationships, talking stages, and everybody runs from them. Even though they are, according to their own words, the best person in town, nobody wants to stay with them. Why could that be?
Again, actions not matching words is manipulation. They are telling you they're a gentleman because when they end up acting like an asshole, they want you to question your reality. They are setting the stage for future bad behavior so that you won't question it. I see this as a huge red flag. Anyone who has to offer you up this information is probably the opposite of anything that they're saying. Maybe that's not always the case, but it has been in my anecdotal experience. So, sounding like a broken record, but the advice that I would offer is always to watch their behavior. If they tell you they're a gentleman and they tell you they're honest, and you start catching them being an asshole or telling you lies, believe their behavior. Ignore their words. But for me personally, if I hear them tell me any of these things early on in the talking stages, I'm out. I know where this goes.
Wow, she knows where this goes, guys. And my question is, did you come up with that on your own? Did you come to this incredible piece of wisdom, pure and raw wisdom on your own? Or did you actually create a time machine to go back and ask Socrates and Aristotle about it? Is my question. The fact that you don't have to trust people based on their words that can be manipulated and, you know, changed around, or, you know, that you have to believe in what you can actually see reflected by their behavior. Incredible piece of advice. She came up with it apparently all on her own, guys, and it only took her 40 years. Now, the important question is, do you dismiss these people after finding out that they're a-holes before Do you spread your legs or after? My question. Because if you do, if you dismiss them without having S3X with them, we will have no problem, guys. The world will be an utopia, the dating world, if women did this. If they didn't spread their legs before getting to know the person, before securing the commitment. But a lot of what these women do is they spread their legs, right? They give Chad the milk for free. And then, oh wow, he turned out to not be that interested in me. Wow, what a shock, eh? Well, now I'm left with one, number added to the body count. And this is how they become women in their 40s whining about men. But now, guys, let's move on to our last TikTok by this really charming and happy individual. And then we're going to move on to analyzing the song. Let's get started with Burned Haystack Dating Method.
Well, let's go ahead and review the burned haystack method of dating. I have heard of this method of dating, so today I dug deep and did my research, and these are the 10 rules, so let's go through them.
Yeah, before she gets started, I just want to make sure that we all know that women don't need methods and rules and schemes and games and all that. No, there is only one method for women. There is only one rule for women, and it is be a good, decent human individual. That's all. You don't need methods, strategies, technicalities, all these words. No, you just need to be a good woman, and men will chase you. It's the only rule there is to women dating, all right? But now let's get into this 4-minute instruction manual on how to secure the perfect man.
Rule number 1, you're supposed to limit accessing the app to only 2 times a day and for like a maximum of 5 minutes a day. I 100% agree. We cannot let these dating apps consume so much of our time because it can get crazy. Rule number 2 is you have to immediately block any men who message you with aggressive conversation or sexualized conversation. Immediately you block them. For the men who message you with generic messages, you should only respond with that same effort of generic responses. If they just say hi, then you just respond with hi. Because we are done carrying the entire mental load and conversation in these dating apps. But you
Oh, wow, guys. Women apparently are tired. They're exhausted from carrying the conversations. Well, I want to ask you guys, when was the last time a woman held the conversation, kept it going, kept putting the wood on the fire, that kept the thing alive? When was the last time you've had a woman do that? Because women are well known for being absolutely bad at keeping conversations on dates, being known for being unimaginative, all right, and extremely dull, and being known for you being on a date and it looks like you making an interrogation because the other person only replies to what you ask with one-liners. That's what women are known for. So what do you mean you are tired of holding the conversation? Oh, right, guys, she's talking about Chad. She's talking about the men who don't even care to remember their name. Meanwhile, they are thinking about them all day and posting crappy stories in the hopes that this Chad will see them. Oh, that's what she's talking about. Well, now I get it.
You should reply enthusiastic to any man who actually shows that he read your profile. And I agree with her on all of those. Number 3, you have to turn off your dating app notifications. And I 100% agree with this. We cannot be letting these notifications distract us all throughout the day. Number 4, if you are swiping left on somebody and you don't want to date them, then you shouldn't just swipe. You should block or remove them from the whole list. Now, when I was on the dating apps, I didn't know you could do this. I thought you just swiped left. But apparently they can come back into the rotation and keep showing up. But I love this mentality. Once you decide that's not the person for me, then you just block or remove them. Rule number 5, there's no fighting in the messages. If they start getting pushy or mean to you and you feel like you have to defend yourself and you guys start arguing, just block and walk away. If they're not capable of just having a normal civil conversation just in the very beginning, then that's not a good sign. The lady who came up with this dating method is a radical blocker. Like, she blocks constantly. She is burning the haystack down so that she can get to the needle in the bottom of the haystack and find her man. And I'm all for it.
Ah, now I get it. That's why it's called the burnt haystack dating method. Because she weeds out, she burns out all the bad options and finds the needle at the bottom. So basically, if you're living in a metropolis, right, and you're living with 2 million people, what you have to do is go on the dating apps and start, you know, blocking all these people, texting all these people, getting to dates with all these people, getting your back blown by all these people, until you eventually come around to blocking 99% of people in your area, and you're gonna be left with that one person, you know, the needle, guys. You're gonna find it in the haystack. That's how you do it. Well, even if these women could be like me, 4,000 years of age, to eventually come to the point where they have blocked 99% of the people that are not their suitors, here comes the key, right? Here comes the part that they don't know. But surprisingly, even if these women, guys, were to block 99% of the people in their area to find the one man, when they find him, they're not gonna like him, all right? If these women got to the point in which they will have blocked all the people that are bad to them, and they are left with one option, and they open his profile and they're so ecstatic about it, oh, I'm gonna find who my man is. They're gonna check his profile, they're not gonna like it, they're gonna be unimpressed. If they get on a date with him, they're not gonna like it, all right? Because this reinforces the phrase that you can give a woman 40 relationships, 40 men, excuse me, and she's not gonna make a relationship out of one of them. Right? You can keep blocking and blocking and blocking, and that's how you're gonna end in your 40s talking about stupid dating methods. Because these women, it's not the problem that they haven't met that right man. The problem is that they've met him like 5 times already, and they have dismissed him because they think that the grass is greener somewhere else, and because they think that they can find something better.
Burn the haystack down. Rule number 6, there's no pen pals. So if you have been messaging back and forth for about a week and there has not been a date plan, then just move on. They're not ready to take action. And you know 46% of people on the dating apps are already in a relationship. They're just looking for some external validation. So don't waste your time being a...
What? No, that can be the case. Are you meaning to imply that dating apps are mostly filled with people looking for attention and validation, hookups, or any sort of resource? Well, but aren't dating apps meant to find the love of your life? Guys, this really got me confused. What is it in the end?
Pen pal. Number 7, don't match with people who are not within your dateable area. If you don't want to date somebody more than an hour away, then don't match with people over an hour away. Do not match with people who are in town from out of town, or live somewhere else, or live hours away, if that's not a relationship that you can sustain.
Yeah, I mean, that only makes sense because forget about having to block 2 million people in your city. Now, if you have to block all the people in your state, or all the people in your country, God forbid, you'll have no time to do so.
Number 8 is called no ludic loop. And I think what she means by that is don't get on the dating app and just keep swiping and looking for dopamine hits like you're at a slot machine.
Well, we all know that women can't do that. They can't keep themselves to that standard, guys.
Don't go there for external validation. If you're needing validation, then do some meditation, do some journaling, and validate yourself, my friends. Number 9, if a man wants to go out on a date with you and he cannot plan the date or set the date or make a decision, then just block and walk away. How are you going to have a partnership and do life and be an adult with somebody who can't even plan a date? If you have to plan that date, that means that you're being a desperate bitch. And that means you need to work on your self-esteem. And
all right, counter question. This woman says, well, if this man can't plan one single date, how are we going to have a marriage together? All right, counter question. If this woman hasn't been able to find a man in the 4 years she's been alive, what makes you think you're going to be the one? All right, if this woman hasn't been able to make a date work out of the 400 that she has, what makes you think that you're going to make it work with her? Interesting question.
Choose to have some self-respect over some dick, okay? And number 10, she wants you to remember that it is a job search, that you are interviewing people for this position to be your partner in life. It's not a takeout order. So what she's basically saying is slow and steady wins the race. People spend more time researching what house they want to buy than what partner they want to date. So go slow and don't be a desperate bitch. I 100% approve of this whole dating method. It's very similar to my dating coach who wrote the book No More Assholes.
All right. Enough. Don't hit me with the dating coaches because I'm gonna lose it. But yeah, guys, I just can't wait to be interviewed by these women. All right, I'm just gonna close this video now. I'm gonna go out on the streets and try to find a woman to interview me. I'm gonna try to apply for some position to be a financial provider. I have nothing better to do with my time, you know. As always, guys, so much cringe coming from these women and their stupid proposals. I tell you what, Women, again, think of your mother, think of your grandmother, think of the grandmother of the grandmother of your grandmother. The reason why they were married is because some dude found them attractive, and after they exchanged, a conversation, all that, he found out that they're quite enjoyable. That's it. All right. If you ask men, no one will tell you, oh, I actually liked this woman because she's independent, or she's really sure about herself, or this woman just had a really good dating technique, so I couldn't, I couldn't not be with her. No, men are simple creatures. They find a woman that they like. I like her. She's pleasant to be around. That's that. They don't compare her. Oh, but Becky down the street has, better hair. No, men don't do that. If you're a good woman, you're gonna inevitably end up with someone. You cannot stop it, all right? It's a process that you cannot stop. If you're a woman that deserves it, you're gonna be in a relationship at some point, right? And usually that point, guys, doesn't come in your 40s. But now, enough with all these women, guys. The video is quite long already, but not all long things are bad, as we all know. So we're gonna cover a song by Megan Trainor. Now, we're not gonna cover it by singing it, of course, because I suck at singing. My 4,000-year-old mommy powers do not include singing. So we're gonna take a look at this. And this song, guys, maybe you're thinking, oh, is this a new song? This song is actually from 9 years ago. Like and subscribe, guys, for the up-to-date content, all right? No, probably a lot of you know this song. I also knew it, I've listened to it, but I haven't stopped to think about the lyrics. Well, yesterday I did, and I wanted to share them with all of you, all right? So let's read. The song is titled Dear Future Husband, and she says, Dear future husband, here's a few things you'll need to know if you want to be my one and only, all my life. Take me on a date, I deserve it, and don't forget the flowers every anniversary, because if you treat me right, I'll be the perfect wife. Buying groceries, buying what you need. You got the 9 to 5, baby, but so do I. Right, so up until this point, everything is good, everything's alright. She asks for flowers, she asks for dates, everything's alright. Now, you got the 9 to 5, but so do I. So don't be thinking I'll be home and baking apple pies. I've never learned to cook, but I can ride a hook. Sing along with me, yada yada. Alright, here's where my problem comes. Alright, and it's not that this woman doesn't know how to bake apple pies, it's rather what's implied that she doesn't want to be traditional, all right? Guys, no man expects women to be barefoot in the kitchen and to be baby producing machines and food cooking devices, right? And dishwashers. No man nowadays has this expectation towards women. So chill with all of this empowerment. Nobody's forcing you to specifically know how to bake apple pies, but it's such a big turn off for men when we see women running away from traditionalism. Every time I see a woman that stays, and there was this other song, I think it was by Jennifer Lopez, I think, that she said, I'm not gonna cook for you, I'm not your mama, right? Again, no guy is asking for you to be our mama, but when you run away from the tasks that are thought of to be traditionally performed by women, it's a red flag, all right? The world has changed. Most women nowadays work the 9 to 5, same as men, all right? Things have changed, but still, around the home, there are certain tasks that are expected out of men and certain tasks expected out of women, all right? Cooking is mostly accepted to be a woman doing it. Now, that doesn't mean that it has to be that way. It just means that if you show to all of us that you run away from traditionalism, you're just telling us that you're not going to pull your weight in the relationship, all right? And nobody is specifying what exactly is that. Different families have different set of rules. But what happens, guys, when the groceries are heavy and they need to be carried? Who carries them? Traditionally, the man does. It's not the woman. When a rat gets inside of the house, what are both genders' responsibilities? Well, it's the man's responsibility to take that rat out, and it's the woman's responsibility to stand on a chair and yell, right? These are the responsibilities. When the fridge needs to be moved around the house, who do you think does it? Is it the woman or is it the man? It's the man, of course. So how do you think women will react when a man out of nowhere, out of the blue says, ugh, I don't want to move no fridge, I don't want to move no groceries, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. It will be the ick for them, right? And deservedly so, because there are certain things that men do better or easily than women. And there are also things that women do better and easily than men. And this is why there needs to be a redistribution according to the traditional rules, right? So anytime, guys, again, it's not about baking apple pies. It's not because men expect all women to be, you know, equivalents of a wife from 2 centuries ago. Nobody's expecting that. But when you so implicitly tell us that I'm not your mama, well, run away, guys. But now let's continue. You've got to know how to treat me like a lady, even when I'm acting crazy. Massive red flag. Tell me everything's all right. We'll move on to that later. Dear future husband, yada yada. If you want to get that special loving, tell me I'm beautiful each and every night. So again, some normal demands, right? Give me flowers, tell me I'm beautiful. Women are so funny with their little needs. They are charming. After every fight, just apologize. What? And maybe then I'll let you try and rock my body right. Even if I was wrong, you know I'm never wrong. Why disagree? Okay, so I'll let you try and rock my body right is a metaphor for S3X. Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. I think we can all agree on that. And basically she says, if you always apologize, if you always reassure and reaffirm me and you have no opinion of your own, I'll let you have S3X. Now, I know that songs are not known for being literal, alright? I know that it has to be catchy, it has to rhyme, it has to be funny. I get that. I'm not implying that Meghan Trainor believes this, but unironically, guys, a lot of women, this is how they behave. They see men and they treat them like they are puppies, like they're some docile, stupid dogs. And if you behave well, I'm gonna treat you with S3X. If you don't behave well, I'm gonna, you know, get rid of it. This is why a lot of men live in marriages where they have no bedroom fun, because they don't really get along with the woman. They have some problems, and instead of the woman making an effort to fix things, to, you know, give without expecting anything in return, instead they just cut the S3X from out of it, right? It's the behavior they have. And you know, it's these women, guys, that say, oh, men only view us as S3X objects. Well, that's how you market yourself. Like, you meaning to tell me I have to gather points by behaving well to have S3X? Like, you're treating S3X like an exchange currency. Oh, if you behave well and I'm happy, I'll give you S3X. If I don't, I won't. And they hit us with the, oh, you don't own my body. Nobody's saying that we own your body, but if you treat S3X to men only when they behave properly, well, then you're treating it like a currency. So yes, you are somewhat the equivalent of a 304, right? I really dislike that about women, and this is how, guys, again, this is how a lot of women behave, right? And relationships, oftentimes for guys, seem like a single-player game. It's not this relationship that you have with 2 people, they both bring things. No, it's just single-player mode. If you play the game correctly and accordingly, you're gonna get S3X, you're gonna get affection. If you don't, however, and you get her mad and you know, you're not playing the game accordingly, well, you're not gonna have S3X, you're not gonna have good results, right? It's just like a game. You're playing single mode, the other person doesn't have anything to do with the relationship, it's just you. Your ability to control the emotional state of your girlfriend is what's gonna determine the rewards that you will have, right? And then again, I want to ask this question to all of you guys. Have women always been crazy? All right. She says, you've got to know how to treat me like a lady, even when I'm acting crazy. Tell me that everything's all right. You know that I'm never wrong. So why disagree and all of that? And look, we can all agree, both men and women, that women are the ones who are more emotionally unstable. They are the ones who are more emotional, subjective in their approach. This is just in their nature. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But there comes a point, guys, especially with modern women, at least so I think, that they just behave like toddlers. Like, they want to be reassured all the time. They want you to reaffirm everything they do. They want you to always put the blame on you. They can't take an ounce of accountability. All right, you have to be wrong for everything all the time, and that's what they want. All right, they want to wake up from a dream where you've cheated and slap you on the face, and for you to take like a champ and say, "Oh, I'm sorry for cheating on your dream." Right? That's what they want. A lot of these women. So I want to ask you guys: have women always been like this? Have women always been unable to take an ounce of accountability and to have a discussion like grown adults? Even though they are more emotional and subjective, you can still have a conversation, right? I mean, there are women who are politicians and they do a good job of debating and, you know, exchanging arguments with other people. So we know that women can do that. Yet when it comes to relationships, they really show a lack of understanding, a lack of accountability, and a lack of power to debate. They manipulate the conversation and make it all about their feelings. So have women always been like this? Now I hear you say, Dan, you are the 4,000-year-old guy here. Nobody here is 4,000 years old. What shouldn't you tell us? Guys, I get that. But look, I've been my tomb, far away from society, alright? Yes, I'm 4,000 years old, but I haven't been dealing with women all that time. So I expect you gentlemen, especially the older ones, please answer me this. Have women always been just unable to have conversations in a normal manner? No, nobody's expecting out of them to be just like men, alright? And be equally as objective about it. No, we just expect to, I don't know, you can be more emotional, but still have a conversation without making it all the time about your feelings, without the need to be all the time right, without the need for your men to take on all the responsibility, because women like men who take responsibility, women like men who lead, and this is also another part of leading the relationship, to lead the problems and navigate them accordingly. But navigating them accordingly doesn't mean that the men should be always wrong, right? And when I think of women in the past, when they were to dress modestly and they were really polite and they were traditional, I cannot imagine those women being equally as not accountable as women today. I cannot imagine it. Yet, as I've grown older, I've seen in relatives, in grandmothers of friends and all that, the same behavior that a lot of modern women show. They really get upset over bullcrap. They cannot have any sort of meaningful conversation when they're upset, all right? So I've started to question, have women always been like this? You know, and I ask men, can you meet a woman that is accountable and doesn't want to be right all the time? And guys, I swear, I haven't had one man tell me that that's the case. I've asked multiple married men, can you find a woman that you know, takes accountability? And I've not received yes as a response once. All right? You have these women, guys, that don't want equality. They say they want it, but they don't want it. They want you to put the blame on yourself, even if you're not to blame. They want you to not disagree, apologize all the time, right? They don't want equality. They want you to be the one who is bad all the time when they need it to be, right? So you let me know, guys. Does that woman exist? Have they always been the same? But now enough about that. Let's continue. The song ends here. Dear future husband, make time for me. Don't leave me lonely. And no, we'll never see your family more than mine. I'll be sleeping on the left side of the bed. Open doors for me and you might get some kisses. Don't have a dirty mind. Just be a classic guy. Buy me a ring. And here the song ends. If you want to get that special loving, tell me I'm beautiful each and every night. Alright, so this song, to summarize it, a lot of normal demands, right? Flowers, opening doors, all that. But there are just a few things that stick out, like the I'll reward you with S3X if you behave correctly, and if you don't, I will give you the cold shoulder, most probably. And then the just no accountability taken. She doesn't want to be traditional. She doesn't want to be accountable, to be held accountable. This is something that a lot of guys say, and I absolutely agree, that modern women want the privilege of a woman. What was it? I always forget this word. Not the power of a man, but anyway, you know it, guys. And the accountability of a child, right? And it's so the case, and this is my question: have women always been the same, right? And I'll end on this thought, guys. Women don't want the equal relationship to men. When you're caring, heavy groceries, they don't want you to split the weight 50-50. When the refrigerator needs to be moved, they don't want to, you know, both of you to do it. They want the men to do it. When there is a problem, they don't want you to have an open discussion objectively with them. No, they want you to reassure them, solve the problem, fix the problem. That's that. Women don't want an equal relationship. And I'm of the belief, I'll be the first one to say that relationships are not meant to be equal, because men and women are not the same, right? So it cannot be equal. That's literally what equal means, the same. It cannot be the same. We have different responsibilities, different tasks, different roles to play, right? The problem is, guys, that these women expect men to be traditional while they themselves are not, right? They don't want to be cooking no apple pies, yet you have to be doing all this stuff, all these 400 things. And I'll just, instead of fighting this vampire, I'll switch back to this text right here, right? You have to always apologize. Even if she's wrong, wait, I'm never wrong, right? So don't disagree with me. Like this, when there is a problem, when there is a discussion, when there is a dispute, they don't want to be held accountable. You have to be accountable, right? You have to take the blame on you. You have to lead. You have to solve the problem. You have to reaffirm them. And there are situations for this, all right? The men, they are the back pillar of the relationship. They are the spine of the relationship. They are the ones that should take a hit, and men do, right? Men take a hit. This is something that men do. They always think about providing, right? So even if a woman hurts their man, the way they'll process that is, I'm going to try and provide more positive stuff to the relationship so she doesn't feel bad, and, you know, and things like this. While women, guys, have you noticed that they always try to make you feel bad? If you make them feel bad, directly or indirectly, maybe it's outside your power or even your knowledge that you've hurt them, right? But if they get hurt, first thing they'll do is they'll try to hurt you. That's how they ease their pain, by hurting you. They want to take that weight on their shoulders and put it on you, put it on your heart. That's how they feel better. Men don't have this approach, right? If men were to do that, the relationship will be chaos. Men are the ones who, instead of reflecting that pain back to their significant other, they consume it, they soak it, and they solve the problem, all right? So relationships are not equal. And the problem with these women, guys, is that a lot of them, they simply don't deserve this treatment. A lot of women today, they have been messing around, they have been giving out their body for free to every second Chad, and they want to be treated like they are this princess, you know? And all of this, it's hard work, guys. It's hard work to understand women. Don't get me wrong, men have a lot of negatives too. If you get two women to have a coffee together, they can whine about men for 3 hours, because men, we also have our negatives. We are also annoying in women's eyes, all right? In the same way that women are annoying for us. It's hard. But there's a charm to it, right? In making the other person feel special, in working it out together. But we cannot work it out together when women expect all of this from men while they can't provide anything back. A lot of these women, guys, they cannot take an ounce of accountability. They want the positives of a traditional man, but they don't want the duties that come with that. So, given this example, they will want you to apologize. They will want you to put the blame on you. They will want you to reaffirm them and maneuver the conversation in such a way for them to feel good. And all of that is perfect. But when it comes to you telling them that, hey, maybe you shouldn't have reacted this way, maybe you shouldn't be treating this way, maybe you shouldn't be talking to me in this way or in this tone. Oh, now you're being controlling, right? Now we have a problem because I'm expected to provide the bare minimum. That's the problem, guys. They want a guy who leads, but they don't want a guy who controls. They want a guy who apologizes, but they don't want a man who's always wrong, right? I mean, they want the impossible. They what's they want what benefits them, but only when it benefits them. Okay, they want the same thing, but only when it benefits them. When it doesn't benefit them, they don't want it. So we'll end the conversation here, guys, and you leave me your thoughts down below. Also, please answer my question: have women always been the same? Have they always been just unable to have a conversation with? Because I'm still to find a woman that you can have a normal conversation. Not that she is expected to talk like a man, but just have the same level of understanding. Because in the end, we're humans, right? I'm not trying to communicate with some alien life form, right? I'm communicating with another human. So is it possible for women to understand men? And has it been the case in the past? Or there's always been this discrepancy between men and women? Thank you for watching, gentlemen. Leave me your thoughts. I'll be really happy to read them, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.